Welcome back, everybody, to what I have to assume at this point is the actual final episode of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations. We are on the final testimony, the time of the murder. Just before it happened, I think I saw some red lights, 3 of them. Oh, look at this. I thought I asked for help, but just then I was splattered with blood. She wasn't dead though, and she struck back at the enemy behind her. Suddenly the red lights were out and the whole area was dark. Just at that moment, there was a horrible scream. Right after that, Dahlia collapsed and I lost consciousness. These red lights, I thought you said you don't remember seeing them. I'm sorry, I thought I saw them. But then they disappeared all of a sudden. Huh, things break, Trite, even the best of theories. Who was it that stabbed Misty Faye? It looks like you still can't prove it. Maya's telling the truth this time, I know it. The rest is up to me. Well then, Mr. Wright. Proceed with your final cross-examination. The final cross-examination. The time of the murder. I think we need to press everywhere. Just before it happened, I think I saw some red lights. We don't need to press that, because that's true. I thought I asked for help, but then I was splattered with blood. She wasn't dead though, she struck back. Okay, let's press this. Struck back? How do you know that? Well, you're right, I didn't see it exactly, but I could tell by the sounds of their breathing and movements, and also the smell of blood. You have witnessed more horror than any young lady should ever have to in one lifetime. If you think about it, every game Maya has been through something. She was kidnapped. She basically almost went to jail because they thought she killed their own sister. And then at the end of that game, something else happened. And then the second game, she was kidnapped. And now this happened. It's crazy, dude. Maya's been through so much. So then what did you do at that point? I couldn't move. I could just barely make out the shadows moving in the dark. Had no idea what to do. So she knew it was bad news. She was about to lose the most important member of her crew. Oh, Bart. Yes, I think so. But suddenly the red lights went out and the whole area was dark. She wasn't dead. The whole area was dark. Let's press this. They went out? Yes, certainly I couldn't see them at all. What could it mean? If the red lights were coming from Godot's mask, and they went out in the middle of the fight, maybe she knocked it off. Maybe the mask was damaged. Or maybe it was knocked off. Or maybe the batteries ran out. Right, Trite? Or maybe those little red pinhead looking lights just stopped working. What could have really happened then? Everybody had their own theory. The horrible scream, was it a man scream or a woman scream? Because if it was a man scream, that means Godot must have got damaged. And then we could just check his body out to see if he got cut or something. Do you mean the moment when the red lights went out? Yes, that's right. The scream that you heard then, was it Dahlia Hawthorne? I don't think so. I'm pretty sure it was a man's voice. What? Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Gavel! So then, that scream came from the killer? That's gotta be it. I think Dahlia Hawthorne must have taken the blade and attacked the killer with it. And then the killer let out a scream of pain, huh? After that, the killer stole the blade back and delivered the final blow, I guess. Well, Mr. Wright, that seems to make sense to me. Sounds like a reasonable deduction, but I still kind of wonder. There's a contradiction? Yeah, there's gotta be a contradiction. I'm sorry to say this, but this interpretation would create an enormous contradiction. Yeah, that makes sense after all. My deductions are almost certainly never correct. Remember, the judge admitted to it. Remember the testimony she just gave before the killer let out a scream? Maya said she had already been splattered by the victim's blood. In other words, the blade and the staff had already been plunged into the victim. Is that right? She could have struck back with a sword that was already stuck in her body. The weapon that caused the killer to let out a scream must have been something other than the staff. What about that knife? So if you're so sure about that, then don't keep us waiting any longer. There's only one thing I can think of, the dagger. That could have been used as a weapon here. Yeah, that dagger. We never found out whose blood it was on, right? They said it wasn't the victim's. If Dahlia Hawthorne had already been stabbed in the back by the staff, because they said it wasn't the victim's, but they didn't know who it was. What could she have used to strike back at the killer? The dagger, right? Well, if we lose here, it's whatever. I can just reload it. Naturally, the dagger the killer brought to the scene of the crime. That's right, I forgot about that. This dagger was found at the crime scene stuck into a pine tree. Yes, the detective found that this morning and brought it to me. Yes. Dahlia Hawthorne struck back at the killer with this, and she managed to wound him as well. Just because he let out a scream doesn't mean that he wasn't wounded. Or he was wounded, excuse me. For all we know, the blood on the dagger could have been from a victim. Nah. Have you forgotten that the blood has already been tested? Since we learned it wasn't from the victim's blood, it must be the killer's blood. The killer must have a wound somewhere on his body. So you're saying the blood on his dagger belongs to the killer? Exactly. A DNA analysis of the blood would prove it beyond a shadow of a doubt. And yes, Mr. Godo, it would prove that it's your blood. Nice theory, Trite. It's not a theory. Order in the court. Is this the end? Have I done it? Even he won't be able to change the results of a scientific test. Not if he drinks several thousand cups of coffee. Let me ask you something, Trite. I just said that it turned out that I was the killer. Do you really think I would be stupid enough to leave evidence like that? What? Just think for a second. This dagger was found this morning by a detective and brought to me. There was already a blood stain on it, correct? But even so, I was the one who brought this dagger here to the courtroom. Yes, what does that prove? He couldn't see the blood anyway! If I really were the killer, I could have washed the blade off and then planted another person's blood on it. But you didn't even know there was blood on it to begin with! In any case, there's one thing I can guarantee, Trite. That blood, it doesn't belong to me. Not a chance! What?! Well, let's test it. Let's test it right now. I think you're lying, bro. In any event, it seems to be established that the killer was wounded. Alright then, witness, continue to test him. Whoa, wait a minute! What's the problem? I know I probably shouldn't say this, but there's a big contradiction in Nick's explanation. Maya?! This dagger. You said that it wounded the killer. That's right. But, if Mr. Godot had really been cut with a dagger, his clothes should be bloody or have a rip in them, right? Oh, Maya? Maybe he just changed his clothes. That'll solve the contradiction pretty easily. What are you talking about? It's not that simple at all. Remember back to the day of the murder. Everyone that was on the Inner Temple side got trapped there. That's true. That's right. And once the bridge was fixed and the police headed for the Inner Temple, Mr. Godot was already there waiting for them. He never had a chance to change his clothes. Oh! That's the assistant to Phoenix Wright, everybody. That's the assistant. That's the assistant of Phoenix Wright. Maybe he brought a change of clothes with him. But no one could have predicted the lightning strike that shut down the bridge. Why would anyone have brought a change of clothes? Even the judge is getting in on this. Did the judge take smart pills during the last recess? Well then, maybe the killer took off his clothes before he committed the murder. Dude, that way he wouldn't get any blood on him. That's impossible. You know how cold it gets up there late at night? After a few minutes with no clothes on, you'd be frozen solid. How would you know that? Oh! So that's all you've got? I knew you weren't tough enough to finish this. If they're gonna make you play as the defendant, or if they're gonna make you play as the defense attorney, the prosecution, they should also let you play as the judge. That'll be hype. Right now, if Mia Fey were... No, that'd be too easy, dude. Right now, if Mia Fey were here... she would have closed the book on this case already. If Mia Fey were here... So come on, Trey, can you do it or not? How about it, Mr. Ray? You've accused Mr. Godot of being the killer, but can you prove it? Have you gotten even one piece of evidence? The question isn't whether I can prove it or not. The fact is, I have to prove it. That's the only choice I have. Vigorous finger-pointing skills. I was taught that is one of the rules of being a lawyer, that you must punch your finger very vigorously. Yes. With vigor. With gusto. I can prove it. I'm going to bring your magnificent vengeance to fruition, just as you want it. Oh, they're playing the original. They're playing the original trite. Damn it, now I'm starting to call Phoenix Wright trite. I'll fight it till the video ends. There's just one piece of evidence that can prove your point. Why don't we go for the unlimited penalty? Well, I'm already dead anyway. Are you trying to pressure me, Mr. Godot? Because it doesn't matter to me. I got the one piece of evidence I need. Give me a break. You've got nothing, trite. So what do I do at a time like this? It's simple. I gotta think outside the box and approach this from a different angle. So here's what you got. There's one thing I've demonstrated in the previous cross-examination. The killer was wounded. That was proven by the dagger. But we decided it was impossible for him to have hit in such a wound. Maybe the wound was on his eye. And he's got it covered with his mask. That's the only thing I can think of. If he had been cut by a dagger, there should be a bloodstain on his clothing. There's one place the killer could have hidden his wound. With his visor. Hidden? That's the only thing I can think of. That's the only thing I can think of. Because when she said that she's seen the three lights, but she didn't see it anymore, that has to mean that the mask got knocked off and it damaged Godot, right? I don't need to think about why there's no bloodstains on his clothing. I need to show how he hid the wound. It's the end of the line. The final stop, trite. Let's hear what you got. I guess I just show his profile again. Godot! Ha! I don't know what you're talking about. And frankly, I don't need to know. What I do know is that you'll never be half the lawyer she was. Damn! Isn't that right, trite? What was that just now? Mia? It can't be. You're living on through him? The will of fire has been passed on to Phoenix. Too much Naruto, guys. Too much Naruto. Even as we speak, you're still hiding the wound. Vigorous finger point is beneath your mask! During the fight, the red lights given off by the killer suddenly disappeared. Seconds later, the killer let out a scream. That's right, your mask went flying off your face. Mr. Godot, would you mind removing your mask? If you have a dagger wound under there somewhere, then I say this whole case is solved. Got him. Got him. Ooh, what the hell? I just blew up. His mask blew up. Bruh. Nothing surprises me anymore. What the hell just happened? Bruh. You got me. He's the Eisenberg of the Ace Attorney series. Just now, I saw her spirit in you. I never liked you. Damn, 6 years ago. You helped the one who put me to sleep by hiding her bottle of poison. And then, while I was sleeping, you let Mia die. Damn, he really hated Phoenix Wright, huh? But you didn't care, you just kept living your pathetic happy-go-lucky life. You even had the nerve to follow in her footsteps as a lawyer. I could never forgive you. That's why I thought. Mr. Godot. But I was wrong about you. I knew it from the very beginning. The truth is, the only person I could never find it in my heart to forgive was himself. Yeah, that was predictable. I was the one that failed to protect Mia. Me and no one else. I tried to avert my eyes from the truth, to escape from the harshness of reality. I just couldn't face Mia's death head on, so I ran. I ran so far away. I hid behind a mask and I threw away my true name. Couldn't even deal with being a defense attorney. So you quit, but you saved Maya. Yeah, that was my plan. Up until just now, anyway. What do you mean? Are you listening, Maya? I had really wanted to save you. And there's one person that I should have gone and talked to right away. Who would that be? Are you talking about Nick? But I didn't do it. I tried to get the help of Iris and your mother, but I closed my eyes to the most important man involved. Do you know why? The real reason? Because he didn't want his help. I suppose I wasn't really interested in saving you at all. He wanted to redeem himself. I was just trying to salvage what's left of my own broken soul. Godot was the cause of all this. Like I said, like, if he had freaking told someone sooner, he could have prevented all this shit. I was trying to make up for the fact that I couldn't save Mia, nothing more. That's why I let you walk right into the situation that I knew was dangerous. Forgive me. You're wrong! You put your life on the line to save Maya. Was it really for Maya's sake? Even I'm not really sure. What do you mean by that? That night in the darkness of the garden, when I saw her silhouette. Damn, look at that sword. A part of me must have known the truth. The truth that it wasn't really Dahlia Hawthorne standing right in there. Right in front of me. It could have been Misty Faye, or even that little girl. But I still picked up the blade. It was like I was dreaming. Damn! I'm not sure exactly what was going on in my mind at that point. Was I really motivated by the pure desire to protect Maya Faye? Or was it something else? Was it my hatred for a woman who had stolen everything from me 6 years ago? Could it have been simply a desire for revenge? Yeah, she did screw over, like... she screwed over a lot of people. And now I don't know anything anymore. But I still feel sorry for Dahlia, though. It ain't her fault she turned out the way she did. She had horrible parents. I did learn something today, however. But she did some horrible things. I finally realized that I was the arrogant one. I was just chasing an illusion, a fantasy. A stupid fantasy of defeating you in the courtroom. You were the one who made me realize my folly. You never ran away from Mia's death. Instead, you picked up where she left off. As a true defender of the people. Vigorous finger point! In that one moment, I understood everything. She taught you the ways of the vigorous finger point technique. Mr. Godot. Say no more. Say no more. I think you already know this, but if you don't, my name is Diego Armando. Mr. Armando! I believe in you. I know you were trying to save me. Whoa! His eye. Thanks. Is you crying red? Your wound is bleeding. Did you forget already? In my world, the color red doesn't exist. These must be my tears. Tears? Ever since I woke up from my coma, I think I've been waiting for this very moment. Mr. Armando! Armando! You do well to remember this, Maya. The only time a lawyer can cry is when it's all over. It's over. Do 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 do. It's all over for Diego Armando. It's all over. It's all over for him. This time it really is over, isn't it? Defendant? Yes, Your Honor. Although you weren't directly involved in the murder, tampering with the body in the crime scene is a serious offense in itself. I understand, Your Honor. Mr. Armando explained that to me very carefully. I knew the risk and I was willingly cooperated anyway. Very well. Before I hand down my verdict, is there anything you'd like to say? Well, there is one thing. I'd like to say something to Mr. Wright. I want to apologize to you. Apologize to me? For what? For the case 6 years ago, of course. I just remembered. Weren't you poisoned by your own lover? Not exactly, but yeah, something like that. Even now, 6 years later, I can hardly believe it. This dude swallowed like a glass. He swallowed like, who was? Yeah, it was Phoenix that swallowed the pendant, right? She was going to do it. She was planning to kill me. It's not all that surprising. The two of you hardly knew each other. Huh? What do you mean? You and my sister, you only met twice. Huh? We only met twice? The first time you met was on that fateful day in the courtroom. Yep. The day she poisoned Mr. Armando in the cafeteria of this very courthouse. The next time you met was 6 months later. You met her again on the day that she stole your cold medicine. Wow. And Doug Swallow was killed. No way! That can't be true. I mean, during our whole relationship, we were... For those 6 months, it was Iris! The woman that you thought was Dahlia Hawthorne wasn't actually my sister. Huh? It wasn't Dahlia? I hope one day you can forgive me. Feeny. Oh! This is a straight Spanish drama! You got someone named Diego Armando. You got twin sisters seeing one man. This is a damn Spanish drama. That's right. I lied to you. For 6 months. Oh my god. But why? Why would you do such a thing? Ever since she gave you the bottle that day, my sister was trying to get it back as soon as she possibly could. Because of the police investigation and their surveillance, she couldn't move about freely. So that's why you... My sister from the beginning, she was prepared for the worst. Prepared for the worst? She thought that you might somehow discover the truth. That's why she was always ready to deal with you at a moment's notice. Damn! You mean she was ready to kill me? She already had so much to answer for. I didn't want any more sins on her soul. Damn, that's a real sister right there. I begged her not to do it, and she agreed to give me a chance. And that's why you came to me. You came to get the bottle pendant back from me in her place. But I couldn't get you to give it back. I failed at something even as simple as that. 6 months ago. 6 months passed and I still couldn't get it back from you. Finally, my sister couldn't wait any longer. Damn, she showed up. She didn't consult me about her plans for you that day. It was the first time that ever happened. That was a bit strange, wasn't it? Up until that day, you two were partners in crime and she would confer with you everything. I think she must have noticed. Noticed what? My feelings for you. If I had found out she was planning to kill you, I would have done whatever was necessary to stop her. Damn! Even if it meant her life or mine. Damn! Iris! After spending half a year by your side, my feelings towards you, they changed. I have something to say to you too. Yes? You really are the person I always thought you were. Even after Dahlia Hawthorne was found guilty, I still believed in you. Wow! Spanish drama! Go! I can't believe it. That's crazy. So that was what she was doing. That makes sense. How many cups of darkness have I drank over the years? Even I don't know. I'll tell you though. Right now, this one here is the greatest cup I think I ever had. Don't you think so? Phoenix Wright. Oh my god, he called him by his name. Oh, he's drinking the cup of coffee too. I think you're right. The purpose of this trial was to rule on the murder of the victim, Elise Donham. Phoenix became a man when he drank that cup of coffee. At some point, I expect you will be tried for your role as an accomplice in this case. I understand, Your Honor. Damn. Very well. On the charge of murder, I hereby find the defendant not guilty. Court is now adjourned. Where's the champagne? Where's the damn confetti? No confetti for this case? It was too serious. They didn't pop the champagne and no confetti fell.